Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our webinar. This is Courtney, the Marketing Coordinator here at AIM. Today's webinar will be recorded and later posted on our website. This does mean that all attendees will be automatically muted so that we can get a quality recording. If you have any questions, feel free to type them into the chat box, and we'll try to answer them throughout the presentation. But if we're unable to get to all the questions, we'll have a member of our marketing team reach out to you individually so we can make sure we get those answered. We do have webinars every Wednesday morning usually. This is just a special event for all of you out joining us today. But we do have webinars every Wednesday morning, so keep an eye on your email or our website to look for the next invite coming your way. With that, I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Mike so that we can get started today. Go ahead and take it away, Mike.
Thanks, Courtney. Good morning, everybody. And in some cases, I guess, afternoon, everybody. I know we got folks scattered from all over the country who have joined us today. We know that you're busy. We certainly appreciate you making your time available to take a look at this thing today. We're really excited to have Greg Esposito from Guarantee Trust Life with us on the call to give you, we haven't done this in the other states where the product has become available. We had a little more lead time here. Oregon's right in our backyard, and so we're actually making available a sneak peek, if you want to call it that, as to what will be coming. And as Greg will tell you more during the presentation, as far as context and stuff, explaining kind of where this is going to fit, what it looks like compared to the other products, the other versions of this product, what we call the national version of the product, things like that. But we're just really happy that we're able to get this in front of you early enough that we can get everybody contracted out onto their portal and ready to go. So with all of that said, and with no further ado, I'm going to introduce Greg Esposito, the Assistant Vice President of Sales. Greg, super appreciate you making your time available to help our agents out with this sneak peek here. And you go ahead and take it away.
Hey, thanks, Mike. Thanks, Courtney. Yeah, and thank you for everybody for tuning in. This is really an absolute home run product for Guarantee Trust since 2018. And last fall, we made some really nice upgrades to it. And some upgrades that actually agents have been asking for since 2018. We'll go over those a little bit more in detail, but the product's been around since 2018. The upgrades are really a combination of two things: agents asking for these upgrades and GTL having enough time to have our original product in force, see how claims are running, see how the product's running, and you know, be confident in being able to make these changes and not have to deal with rate increases or anything like that down the road. So really excited to tell you about the changes that we made, and also a great big bell and whistle added to this platform that is, you know, just above and beyond what anybody else has in the market, having to do with a family caregiver benefit and support system. So why don't we go ahead and get started? The product we're definitely chatting about today is short-term home health care. It's by GTL. And GTL, if you're not familiar with us, we've been around since 1936. We're a mutual insurance company, and we're based in Glenview, Illinois. Very solid financially, have been for years. A-, excellent AM Best rating, and zero debt on our balance sheet for as long as I can remember being at GTL, and I've been at Guarantee Trust now for 23 years. So it's been a very solid company, one that focuses on products just like we're talking about today, whether you want to call them ancillary products or complementary products. This is really what we do at GTL. So if you're familiar with our short-term home healthcare plan, our initial one launched in 2018, still called short-term home healthcare. Our new plan, it's an upgrade, still called short-term home healthcare. But as you can see populating on the screen, we've made some really nice upgrades to this plan. And again, it's just set us apart from anything else that's out in the market. One of the things we really like to focus on is what can we do to help the agent cross-sell this plan, get the conversation started. And one of the things that we've come up with about 5 or 6 years ago was creating a very short consumer video that you as the agent, you know, can share with the client either during a presentation or prospecting for a appointment on this plan. both situations work really well. I'm going to share with you the actual video that we have, and also we have infographics too. So we'll share those with you today, but that's really one of the key things that we like to do at GTL. Let's make it easy to get that conversation started with your client, and then you follow up with some answers to some questions they'll have, and then they just want to have you apply for them. When it comes to applying for GTL coverage, it's very simple. You can do it however you like. Of course, we still take paper applications, but most of our business today is coming in via electronic applications. So if you download GTL eApp onto either your Apple or your Android phone or tablet, you can do e-applications right from there. And if you happen to be sitting with your client, they can sign your device screen, you submit the application, and you are all set. This product we're talking about today will issue in a minute or two. So once you submit it, it's going to be issued. Now, if you're not with the client, maybe they're at home and you're at your office, something like that, selling virtually, you can go to our website, log into our agent portal, and you can do the e-application there. Now, you might be wondering, well, how in the world do we obtain the signature from the client? Well, we used to have a verification phone option, and that one's still around, but ever since we launched our text to sign capability last fall, that has really taken over. So if you're not with the client, when you're doing the e-application on the PC platform, there's an area for you to put their mobile phone number in there. You put it in, you click submit, it sends them a text. They open up the text and that turns their phone into a signature pad. And then they just sign their cell phone screen, click submit, and that's how we attain their signature. So you can imagine, if you're with them, you have them sign your device screen. If you're not with them, you do text to sign, and it's just super simple. So any way you want to do business with GTL, we're more than happy to do it with you that way. So on your screen, what you're seeing populated are the states that we have short-term home health care coverage available. Now, the ones that are highlighted in the light blue or teal, those are the ones that already have the new short-term home health care plan that we're chatting about today approved. Now, hopefully in the next month or two, we'll be able to attain those other 5 or 6 or 7 that are on the screen, and they will have our newest short-term home health care product available. We'll generally get these states. So, and once we do get them, we send out an email to all the agents in that state saying, hey, great news, our new short-term home health care plan is approved and ready to go. So these are probably the only states we will have. However, hopefully soon we'll have all of those in teal color. So if you're wondering, where does this plan fit? Who should I talk to about it? Here's some great target markets for you. First one's kind of a no-brainer because of the fact that this product has an incredible prescription drug benefit on it. So if you have clients who are taking prescription drugs, this is definitely a first target market. Second one, if you have clients who really haven't planned for down the road care, they don't have long-term care plan, you know, possibly they can't afford it at their age, or possibly they just can't qualify for it health-wise. That's a nice target market for this. You also have some people, you might not have thought of this target market, somebody like myself, who my parents are still around, they don't have a long-term care plan, and they're not going to be able to afford one at this point. So what we do see is people like myself getting a policy for my parents and paying the premium for my parents. So that's another opportunity here. And the great thing about this product is it's very easy to get. Now, we know compared to long-term care, it's not even in the same ballpark with regard to coverage that provides, but we all know how hard it is to get long-term care too. And even some short-term care plans that have some assisted living, nursing home benefits in them, and home health care, those can be a little bit tough to get too. This product, very simple to get. As a matter of fact, after I share with you the consumer video, I'm going to qualify everybody on the line today for a plan, and you'll see that this plan is very easily attained. And I also want to point out a couple ideas for you in terms of opening up your opening up your eyes to, oh, wow, I didn't realize that these people could get this plan. So let's take a look at the consumer video and imagine showing this to your clients.
There's no bed like your own. And if you suffer an illness or have an accident, the last thing you would want to do is recover in an unfamiliar, hectic environment like a hospital or nursing home. Focus on your recovery in the comfort of your own home with short-term home health care insurance from Guarantee Trust Life Insurance Company. Think about your family situation. You may be reaching that age where planning for future care is necessary, or maybe your parents are reminding you they don't want to go to a nursing home. How could being unprepared for either yours or your parents' need for care affect your finances and way of life? GTL's short-term home health care insurance is more affordable than most other plan of care policies, and it pays benefits directly to you regardless of any other insurance you have. Home health care benefits kick in if you suffer a cognitive disability or can't perform 2 of the 6 ADLs, and no hospital stay is required. The base plan consists of 3 main components, and there are 3 different base plans for you to choose from to match the level of coverage you want. With the home health care benefit, your chosen plan pays a benefit for up to 360 payments for a variety of services, including skilled nursing, physical therapy, and general nursing care. With our most comprehensive plan, you can receive up to $162,000 of home health care benefits. With the home health care aid benefit, you can receive a daily benefit for each day you require the services of a home health care aid, depending on your chosen plan, and no hospitalization stay is required. Most likely, you're taking at least 1 prescription medication. With the prescription drug benefit, you can receive benefits for any prescriptions that are filled after the policy is in effect. Just filling your normal prescriptions can help offset the cost of the policy itself. Now let's see how it works. Say you're 65 years old, have the Plan A policy, and take 1 brand name prescription that you refilled 12 times over the year. GTL's short-term home health care insurance would pay you a total benefit amount of $300 over those 12 months, with an annual policy premium of $365.68. The net cost of the policy would be less than $6 a month. And this is not even including any home health care benefits you may receive. Policyholders also have access to TCare's concierge caregiver support services and a $3,500 family caregiver benefit. Short-term home health care insurance from GTL is flexible and customizable with a great set of riders for you to choose from. And with only 2 or 3 underwriting questions, you don't have to worry about a long application process or medical exams. So, for a fair premium, wouldn't you rather receive professional care at home? Now is a great time to find out more about GTL's short-term home health care insurance.
All right, so great video there with regard to some of the new bells and whistles. And you can imagine when clients see this, if they are in a position where they don't have long-term care coverage or any other type of short-term care coverage, everybody would rather recover at home. So this is really an eye-opening product and very affordable when you add in the prescription drug benefits. So as promised, let's take a look and see if we can qualify for this plan. So if we want to get Plan A or B, we only need to answer the first 3 application questions, no. So the first one, and I'm paraphrasing here, are you currently getting home health care now or an assisted living facility or nursing home? If you can answer that no, you're a third of the way home. Second one, do you have any problems doing your ADLs, your activities of daily living? If you answer that no, you're 2/3 of the way home. And the last one, have you already been diagnosed with some type of memory loss or dementia, cognitive issue? If you answer that one no, you get the coverage. That's it. There's nothing else going on here. You're getting the policy. Now, if you want Plan C, you also have to answer the 4th question, no. So as you can see here, this is not a product that is very, very heavily underwritten. And as I mentioned a little bit earlier, now that I got the application questions on the screen, I want to point out a couple things to you here, kind of open up your eyes even further with regard to this product and who can qualify. Do you notice that There's no question here saying, are you diabetic? Do you notice there's no question here saying, have you had a heart attack lately or a stroke? Have you been diagnosed with cancer? Do you currently have cancer? No. So all of those folks actually could get this product. And there's not a lot of products out there that you can get where if you've already been diagnosed with something pretty tough to handle, that you can still get coverage. So just want to kind of open up your eyes to that. And then we'll just go ahead and move forward. And while you're thinking of that, let's tell you a little bit more about the product. So the issue age range for this product is 61 to 85. And I've got kind of three components here of this plan all on one slide, but we're going to break them down one by one and show you all the good stuff. So the prescription drug benefit on the right side, what I want to point out to you is that under Plan C, on the right side of the screen, it says 900. Last year, that was 600 for a maximum amount of prescription benefits you could get from GTL. So that's one upgrade we made right away. So 300 with Plan A, 600 with Plan B, up to 900 now in prescription drug benefits with Plan C. Also, when you get to the home health care benefits, those you're seeing in the middle of your screen. And I want to point out your attention to the bottom of the middle of the screen where it says home health care aid. That is the third component of this plan. And we're going to get into that too. So three components: home health care aid, and the prescription drug benefits. And as the video showed, we also have that new T-Care family caregiver cash benefit and support system. So starting off, component one, prescription drug benefit. Right after the policy gets issued, you can start getting $10 every time you refill a generic prescription, $25 every time you refill a brand name. And with each year of your policy, you can get up to 300 with Plan A, 600 with Plan B, and 900 with Plan C. Very simple. You do not have to be on claim in order to use the prescription drug benefit. So you can tell your clients right now that are taking prescriptions, once they have this policy, they can start getting money from GTL. Here's a little example: 65-year-old with Plan A, so they can get up to 300 a year. Over the 12 months of their policy, their first 12 months, they filled 4 brand names, 20 generics. That adds up to $300 in benefits they get from GTL. Well, this plan, Plan A, for a 65-year-old is costing them $365.68 for the entire year. So what did it really cost them net out of pocket after the prescription drug benefits? A little less than $5, a little less than $6 per month. So this is a plan that's very affordable, easy to get, and most people will actually want. Now, here's usually some questions that I get. So let's do some FAQs on the prescription drug benefit. I'm basically saying, Greg, that if I've got a client who's taking a brand name prescription and fills it every month, he's going to get $25 a month from GTL. That's absolutely correct until they hit their maximum annual benefit. It works the same exact way for generic. It's just going to be $10 every time they get a prescription refilled. Now, this is a key FAQ here. You may be wondering, well, I've got a lot of folks on a 90-day supply or 3-month supply. Is that one benefit from GTL or is it 3 benefits from GTL? So the policy is written so every time you refill a prescription, it's 1 benefit. So if they're on 90-day supply, it's 1 prescription benefit, not 3. So that's definitely good to know up front. Now, this is another popular question. So, Greg, I've got my client on Medicare Part D. When they go to Walgreens, they pick up their prescription. Some of them cost $0, some of them cost $2.50. Are they still going to get the $10 or $25 from GTL? Absolutely. So we're not coordinating coverage here at all with Medicare Part D or any other type of coverage. Whatever benefits you have with this product, we pay based upon that. We don't know what other type of coverage they have, and that goes for their home health care and home health care aid benefits too. We don't know what they have, so we're going to pay always benefits based upon their GTL coverage. So let's get into the second component. This is the home health care. Now, something has to happen after policy issue for this to kick in. And that's going to be either they develop some type of memory cognitive impairment or a functional impairment where they cannot do at least 2 of their activities of daily living. So once that happens, this world of home health care benefits opens to them. Now you might be wondering, well, how many benefits do they get? Well, the first thing is it's 360 days of home health care benefits. A key point here is that 360 days has nothing to do with the calendar year. So if they use it once a week, they can use it for 360 weeks. It's all, they have all the time in the world to use their 360 days of benefits. You might also be wondering if there's a restoration. Well, there actually is in some cases. Sounds kind of murky, but let me clear it up for you. If the client uses this for something, let's just say maybe they had their hip replaced or their knee replaced or shoulder surgery, and they use this, maybe they use 3 days, maybe they use 30, maybe they use all 360, but they've eventually recovered from whatever that condition is for 180 consecutive days where they don't need any type of home health care. Well, then they do get a restoration, and it's a full restoration. Now, what happens if the client starts using this home health care because they are having issues with dementia? Well, that is not currently something that is curable. So once they use up their 360 days, there's not going to be a restoration. So that's the difference between the two. You just have to recover for 180 days of not needing that type of care, and you do get a restoration. Now, even if you don't get a restoration, look at Plan A, $54,000 of benefits available. Plan B, $108,000. Plan C, as mentioned in the video, up to $162,000 of benefits. Now, how do you get those benefits? Well, let me run you through an example here. With Plan A, the most you can get for each day is $150. For Plan B, $300 total, and for Plan C, $450 total. So if you do the math and you say, what's $150 times 360 days of benefits, you come up with $54,000. So that's how this would work. Also, with regard to the home health care aid, which is the third component, you'll see what's circled on the bottom of the screen there, 3 red circles, 50, 100, and 150. That's the third component. So if you have a home health care aid coming out to help, generally they're coming out to help with your ADLs, that's the third component of this plan. And we're going to break that down in just a couple minutes here for you. I want to give you a quick example of just the home health care benefits. So let's just say that we had a client who's got Plan A, and they unfortunately had a stroke. So they needed to have some home health care. They needed some speech therapy, some physical therapy, and let's just say that they needed it for 10 days. So if they had each of those therapies, that's $75 for each day, and they've maxed out their $150 per day benefit with those 2 therapies. But after 10 days, they've got $1,500 coming to them. Also, remember that premium for that 65-year-old with Plan A was $365.68. So this plan's really looking good. And one thing you can guarantee is this person is definitely taking some prescriptions. So they're also getting money from GTL for that. Now, when we get into the home health care aid, a couple things I really want to point out to you. We made some upgrades here. This used to say 40, 80, and 120. Now the benefit per day has been kicked up to 50, 100, and 150. Also made another key upgrade on this plan. It used to be only for 60 days, and now it's 360 days of home health care aid coverage. Some other cool things here: hospitalization is not required. And again, the big bell and whistle here, the big change that agents have been asking for, which we just completed, was now this home health care aid component is also good for 360 days, and the same thing, nothing to do with the calendar year. So when we look at max benefits here for home health care aid, 18,000, 36,000, 54,000. So you can really see there's quite a bit of benefits waiting here for the client while they're paying an affordable premium being offset a lot by their prescription drug benefits. Same restoration that we talked about earlier. You use this, whether you use a little or a lot, you recover, don't need this type of care for 180 consecutive days, fully restoration. Okay, this is a very popular question. So Greg, who can provide the care? Now, I want to answer this question specifically. When we're talking about care, we're talking about the home health care aide, the home health care professional coming to do special therapies, coming to help them with their ADLs. So those people that do that, they have to be certified to be able to perform those services, and they have to work for an agency that can provide a bill to GTL letting us know the details of what they did at each appointment. Now that's pretty standard in the industry in terms of, you know, a home health care agency is going to be taking those notes at each appointment, and so it's not a big deal. But in terms of who can provide this care that we've talked about so far, the physical therapy, speech therapy, the ADLs, they have to be certified and they have to work for an agency that can give us a bill. That's it. Now, what's new to this plan is the family caregiver benefit. So this is totally separate from what we just talked about. A family caregiver, where it's the wife, the son, the daughter, this is brand new to this product. So what we have is an unbelievable support system, not for the policyholder, but for the caregiver. So the caregiver doesn't get burnt out and feels like, you know, I can't do this with my job and then taking care of my parent. I'm going to have to put them into an assisted living or a nursing home. So watch this short video about the T-Care benefits. And believe me, the cash benefit's nice, but it's nothing compared to the support that the person gets from T-Care. Let's check it out.
Hi, my name is Ali Ahmadi, CEO of T-Care. About 7 years ago, my wife and I became caregivers to my mother-in-law that was diagnosed with stage 4 lymphoma cancer. We became aware of this term known as family caregiving. As a former naval aviator, I was trained to navigate myself through extremely hard, difficult situations. Caregiving was one that I found myself lost in. T-Care was born as a solution to help family caregivers navigate all the challenges that they go through when they are taking care of a loved one. We are born out of an academic research project that through 7 years of 2 sets of clinical trials, over 15 years of longitudinal data, led to our algorithms understanding for families what solutions at what time, what place are the most effective to help them. My wife and I thought we needed respite or home care services in our caregiving journey. But when we went through the T-Care algorithms in the process, what the system identified was that we needed marriage counseling because our risk factor to burnout was a toll that caregiving was bringing on our marriage. And that's what had led us to start thinking about placing my mother-in-law into an institutional facility. And so the process of what T-Care works is we engage families, whether the policyholder and the family caregiver, the primary family caregiver, typically spouse, daughter, son. The process to use T-Care is extremely easy. It takes 90 seconds on a web portal or a platform to fill out a form. And through that, one of our social workers and our T-Care specialists connects with those families. And through a 25 to 35-minute consultation process, they help them navigate through all the resources that they need at any given point in time. To receive the T-Care family caregiver support services, it is extremely simple. We are either a phone call or a text message away for families. There's no claims process. There's no adjudication. Families can have access to the T-Care benefit starting day one of owning the policy. T-Care is here for you and your clients to empower you to bring a family support system so that families don't ever have to be challenged with the burden of caregiving. and they are spending more quality time with their loved ones.
So the caregiver benefit, this is for the family caregiver. First, once they go ahead and do that 90-second online survey and then chat with a TCare representative for 25-30 minutes so that representative can get an idea of where they need some help, where they need some support, what they can help the person with immediately, or when they can help them down the road. Once they do that call, then they can get a $3,500 check, and that would go to the policyholder, and the policyholder can give it to the family caregiver. They can do whatever they wish with it, but that's the cash benefit, which is nice. But if you've ever been in a situation where you are a caregiver for a family member, we all know that it's very mentally exhausting, and to be able to pick up the phone or shoot a text to TCare to get some support, to find out if there's something in the area that will be able to help you out, even something like here's a service that'll deliver meals to you. That's what they're there for. And if you did catch it during the video, TCare's been around for 7+ years, and they've already been able to show that the support that they've been giving the family caregiver has been able to delay the actual person being cared for from being placed into an assisted living facility or nursing home by 18 to 24 months. So we all know that we'd like to recover at home. The TCare benefit is huge because it helps the family caregiver, and by helping the family caregiver, that helps keep the person who's getting the care at home much longer. So as much of a fan I am of this $3,500 family caregiver cash benefit, the actual benefits that TCare gives support-wise is, well, it's kind of priceless. With regard to this plan, there's always a 6-month pre-ex in here, but let me show you how powerful this is. It wasn't very long after 2018 that I received a call from an agent who had just sold their husband this plan. And she called me up and she said, "Greg, I just sold your new short-term home health care plan to my husband. He's being treated for cancer right now." And immediately in my head, I was like, wow, it hit me. I was like, wow, you could actually get this plan if you've been diagnosed with cancer. Her question was, so how does this 6-month pre-ex work for my husband? So I thought this was a really good example. So I basically told her, if your husband starts needing home health care aid services due to his cancer, he's not going to be able to use that coverage until the policy is past 6 months old. So month 7, you can start using this in this example for home health care aid services due to his cancer. However, I said, if your husband, would unfortunately fall tomorrow and break his hip and need home health care due to that, he can use it right away. So it's very simple to pre-ex. If you got a pre-existing condition when you come into this plan, you can't use it for home health care or home health care aid services until the policy's past 6 months old. But for anything else, non-pre-ex, you can use it right away. So again, back to the application questions. Didn't ask if you had cancer currently, didn't ask if you're insulin-dependent diabetic, anything like that. So you can imagine there's a wide range of folks that we can talk to about this plan and get them some great care. So here's something that's super important. If you've been selling GTL products for a while, you know that the majority of our products, when you buy them, that's your rate. It doesn't go up. This one's a little different. The home health care plan, it does normally increase in rates every 5 years. So when does it do that? Well, the first thing is when the client goes into the next age range band, and the second thing, when their policy itself hits its anniversary date. When those two worlds collide, that's when the policy premium goes up. And I'll give you an example here. So if I'm 65 and I bought Plan A, I'm going to pay $22.87 for my base plan on a monthly basis. Now, when I hit 71 years of age, and then my policy hits its anniversary date, that's when all of a sudden my rates are going to go up to $31.18 monthly. So it goes up about every 5 years, and it goes up when those two things happen. Now, the good news is, with regard to the premium paid for TCare, that rate, once you buy it, it stays the same. So if I get my policy at 65, I'm going to be paying, out of my total premium for the month for this plan, I'm going to be paying $5.94 for the TCare benefits and the cash benefit. Now, that's not going to go up as I get older. So very simple and straightforward pricing, but just make sure to tell the client, this is a plan that goes up every 5 years. That's normal. It's not like there's something wrong with the plan or it's like a rate increase because claims are too high. It's normally priced to go up. Well, you may be wondering why I mentioned twice that our application questions don't have anything to do and don't ask anything about being an insulin-dependent diabetic. Well, here's one of the main reasons why. Folks that have diabetes and are taking insulin shots and stuff, generally they're not able to get a hospital indemnity plan unless there's a guarantee issue window in that plan. So this plan, our short-term home health care plan, does have a hospital indemnity rider, and there's no questions on that application for short-term home health care asking about diabetes. So if you've got some folks that need some short-term home health care plan, maybe they got a Medicare Advantage plan and they're looking to offset some of their hospitalization copays, well, now you have an avenue to get them a rider, even if they're not in a guarantee issue window. So it's pretty simple. You can make some simple choices, get 100, 200, or 300 a day, get a 3-day or 6-day base plan benefit. There is a 30-day wait for this to kick in after it's effective, and that's for sicknesses, not for accidents. And just like the base plan for home health care, this rider does increase in price every 5 years. So if you got somebody who wants hospital indemnity coverage, you'd want to get them a separate hospital indemnity plan, unless they can't qualify for it. In that case, this rider is a really good idea. 6-month pre-ex, same exact thing as we went over earlier on the short-term home health care plan. Same thing works on hospital indemnity. A couple other additional riders, ambulance rider. So if your client takes an ambulance to the hospital, whether they get admitted or not, they get $200. They can use this rider up to 4 times per year, up to $2,500 over the lifetime of their policy. And it's pretty cheap, probably $2 to $4 a month, and very popular rider. Critical accident rider is not a very popular rider, but let me tell you just a little bit about it. When you fall and break things, that tends to happen as you get a little older. It could be a car accident, it could be a slip and fall. You fracture something, dislocate something, tear something. Well, it's a cash payout. That's what this critical accident rider is about. And you can either choose a $5,000 or $10,000 maximum payout. You can also notice by now, while I've been jabbering away, there's an accidental death benefit of $5,000 or $10,000 with it. 30-day waiting period for it to kick in, but that's really what it's there for. I can tell you, I have the $10,000 critical accident rider on my policy. I think it cost me $1.86 a month. So very inexpensive rider that could lead to a pretty large payout if something were to happen. Now, there's a return of premium rider, and this rider was also changed with our upgrade. The old rider used to be if you died before reaching the age of 86, your beneficiary would get the premiums that you sent to GTL for this plan less any claims paid. We've changed this return of premium rider for, it's a premium now paid upon death. So when you buy this plan and you have the return of premium rider, when you die, if your policy is still in force, your beneficiary will get the money you sent GTL for premium less any claims paid. Now, I'm going to give you the one reason why I'm not a fan of this particular return of premium rider on this product alone. When we're talking about you get all the premiums you sent to GTL less any claims paid, that does include prescription benefit claims paid. So if you've got a person who buys this plan and they're really using the prescription drug benefit, probably take a pass on the return of premium rider. There's probably not going to be a lot of premium there to return to the beneficiary if the client's really maxing out their prescription drug benefits using this plan. Last thing I'll say before we're done with this screen is these riders, ambulance, critical accident, return of premium, they do not go up in price as the policy gets older. They stay the same as your purchase price.
Hey, Greg,
All right,
yes. Greg, real quick before we go on, question with regard to purchasing the policy and then dropping the rider later on. Is that allowable?
Yes, you can always remove a rider. It's very easy to just contact GTL and they'll remove it and that'll adjust the premium. Also, if you get that ambulance rider, every once in a while somebody will max that out. And once it's maxed out, it will automatically drop off the policy and their premium will be reduced for future, premiums.
All right. Can you buy C and then drop to B?
Yes, you can definitely change your plan. Yeah, the question always becomes, and it's dependent upon what plan you're moving to and from. The question becomes if we're able to reissue the policy and keeping the same thing, meaning that they're not going to have to start over a 6-month pre-X, not going to have to start over the contestability again. If we're able to do the change that way, then I do like that change. If you're going, let's say, from Plan B to Plan C, that is not something that can be done. So it's not like you can't change from B to C, but you would be starting a new 6-month pre-X and a new 24-month contestability on it. So it's really a question of which way you're moving and how we can issue the policy to make sure that we're trying to give the policyholder credit for time they've already had a policy. So it just kind of depends which way it's moving.
Sure. All right. Very good. Thank you.
Yep. So this is one of the most popular questions I get all the time. Like, all right, this thing sounds really good. How do I get my money for the prescription drug benefits? I think we've made it as easy as possible. There's no claim form that they have to fill out. The prescription, the script that comes stapled to the bag when they pick it up at Walgreens or Rite Aid or CVS, the one that's basically on your screen. It's just the medication, the name, how many pills are in there, what pills are in there, when it was filled. That's all we need. You can just write your GTL policy number on it, mail it to GTL. And basically what we found over the years is that there's a wide range of how people do it. Some people send it to us every time they pick up a prescription. Some people send all of them to us every quarter or once a month. Or maybe they go to their pharmacist at the end of the year and they ask for a quick printout of their prescriptions. All of these work, and we have no rules whatsoever with regard to how we will process them. Whether it comes in one by one or one sheet at the end of the year with everything on it, we're happy with that. Doesn't matter, whatever your client likes to do. Just they mail them right to GTL, we open them up, and we cut the checks. Pretty simple. When it comes to the other types of claims, like being on claim for home health care or home health care aid, well, the first thing is we do have a short claim form, very short, easy for the client to fill out. They would also need to include a plan of care, which the doctors complete. It basically says Greg needs home health care 3 days a week, and he needs the person to do speech therapy or this or that. Just kind of outlines the care they need. That gets included with the claim form, along with maybe their first bill or two that they have. The good news is after they're on claim, we don't need another claim form again. So just send us the bill for next month, and that's all we need. We don't need another plan of care. We don't need another claim form filled out. Just send us the bills. Some of the riders that we have, the ambulance rider, hospital indemnity, it's the same thing. We basically have a claim form for that. They include the proof of service, and then that's how it is. So the claim process continues to be pretty simple here, and just like our hospital indemnity claim process, and people really tend to like the idea that they have control of when they get their money from their prescription drug benefits. One piece of advice I'm happy to pass out from experience here, just from you being an agent and not having to spend a lot of time on follow-up for your client. I would recommend that your client, maybe on a monthly basis, or quarterly basis, that's when they should send in their prescription receipts together. If you get into a situation where you're sending in a prescription receipt to GTL every week or every other week, sometimes they don't do a great job of tracking, oh, I got this $10 check, that's for this. I got this other one, that's for this. And they may call you and say, hey, you know what, I think I'm missing a check for $10 from 2 months ago. So it's hard for them to track what they actually got the checks from GTL for compared against what they sent us. So if they're doing it monthly, that seems to work out better and lower the amount of calls you would get from them saying, hey, can you call GTL and check to see where my check is for my $80 last month? That's the only thing I'll pass along to you, but keep in mind, we're happy to do it any way that it works for the client. So I hope you got a really good idea of some of the cool upgrades that were made. Most of them came from you asking us to improve the home health care aid benefits from 60 days to 360. We did that. Thankfully, our performance of this product over the last 6 years has been great. So we're also able to bump up the benefits for home health care aid, add the new T-Care benefit, add the $3,500 caregiver benefit. And I think you kind of get the gist from me that caregiver benefit is really amazing. And if you've ever had to care for anybody, you realize how stressful that is. And to have somebody you can call for advice or help, what's in my area for me to be able to help me make it a little bit easier is just invaluable. So questions on this product, we've got our sales support team, 800-323-6907. You can email them at agency@gtlic.com. And during normal business hours, you can even text to chat with them. Same number, same 800 number. I always put my email address on there, gsbo@gtlic.com. I really try to make myself available for you 24/7. So email is actually the best way to get me, because if I'm traveling on a plane, in between appointments, it's very easy for me to send a quick response to you. So feel free to reach out to me anytime. If it's on during the day, in the evening, on the weekends, please feel free to reach out to me with any questions, and really happy to help you. So speaking of questions, Mike, do we have any that we can play Stump the GTL Sales Guy with?
Actually, there was one that I didn't handle that came in a little bit earlier. It was with regard to process on the text signature piece. So you send them a text, they click on it, and then now does that open up a web page, or kind of walk through what happens next after the client responds to the text, if you would?
Sure. Great question. So during the application, when you're filling it out, you'll be able to select if you want to do text to sign or a verification call. And if you select text to sign, it'll ask you for the client's mobile number, and you put that in, and then click submit. It shoots them a text immediately, and just like any other text, they open up the text and there'll be a link in there. When they click that link, it turns their phone into a signature pad, and they just sign with their finger, and then there's a submit button. They click the submit button, and within a second or two on your computer screen, it will say signature attained. Basically, you're all set. So it's very, very simple. And it's basically just overridden the folks that were doing verification calls. Nobody really does a verification call anymore. They do the text to sign instead in order to gather that signature. So it just works very simply, very well. And it's amazing how instantaneous it is to you as the agent doing the app. You see that the text was sent, you see that the client signed it, and you're good to go.
Outstanding. One other question, because we do have some folks on the call that have existing clients with the original version of the product. So if they want to upgrade one of those clients from original to enhanced, what's the process on that?
Yes, they will be able to actually do that. That was always up for discussion here at GTL. But yeah, I think the end decision was that we launched this product in the fall of last year, and we got a lot of folks that were like, you know what, this T-Care benefit is really good, and we want it. So it's like, okay, well, even though, you know, we don't really want, we always just want to make sure it's in the best interest of the client. So yeah, we're definitely going to allow that replacement, if you will, so they can get the new upgraded benefits. It just turned, you know, we looked at all things and we're like, well, can we add it to our old product? And that would have meant refiling the whole product again. It just wasn't going to be easy. So the easiest way is to just let the clients go ahead and increase, better their coverage, I should say, by going from our former short-term home health care plan to our new one with the T-Care benefits.
Good deal. All right. I think that's good as far as questions. I do want to jump in for a second on T-Care. For some of you that aren't as familiar with long-term care as other folks that are on this call, what T-Care does is it brings what we call informal care into the mix on this particular protection setup for your clients, because it means that your family doesn't have to burn an entire service day when they just need a couple hours for somebody to take care of, to come over and watch Uncle Bob do, you know, whatever it is that they need to do while they run to the casino, or whatever it is. They can have the nice lady from the church or from the plays cards with them, whatever it is. They can have somebody come over and watch him or whoever it is. They can watch him for a couple hours. They can hand over a Ben Franklin $50 bill to them, thanking them for the time, and it's totally up to them. So it just brings a level of flexibility to this, and there's nothing else like this out there. Okay, and then there's one last question with regard to T-Care, and their T-Care is completely independent from the rest of the process. They are providing one particular service. Doesn't have anything to do with whatever agency they choose. They are an independent service provider within the scope of this. So, and I think that that brings the questions to an end. Our team will be following up with everybody that's on the call to answer any questions that you might have. Key thing to note is that compliance is a real bugaboo with this kind of thing, and what that does is it puts us in a position where we've got to have you, the agent, appropriately licensed with GTL, and to where they've run you through their process before we are able to do anything as far as making materials and such available to you. The good thing is GTL's licensing department, they operate at warp speed. If you can get the paperwork done this week, we'll probably have you approved either late this week or the first part of next week. Then we'll get you out to the portal. We'll walk you through the electronic app process and have you taken care of as many clients as you have time for. So we'll go ahead and wrap this thing up. Greg, super appreciate you making your time available. Great presentation. It's not a presentation that we can make available to the folks in the field because it's not approved for consumer use, but we can make the recorded version of the webinar available for you, and we will do that. So let's wrap it with that. Greg, great job. Appreciate it. Courtney, as always, appreciate all your help weaving this one together. It was a little more complicated than some of the other ones we did, but as always, Courtney pulled it off with aplomb. We're gonna go ahead and wrap it up, do some processing, do some follow-up phone calls with everybody that's on the call, or on this presentation, I'm sorry, and we'll go forward from there. So thanks, Greg. Courtney, thanks everybody that's with us, and we'll be in touch very soon. Thank you.
Thanks.